And hey, welcome back once again to announcerjoe.com. A couple things on the announcerjoe.com part. I've had a couple of comments. Apparently, there's a setting somewhere where if it's not a secure setting, you cannot get to the website. No big deal. If you want to find it, basically just redirects you to Facebook. So go to the Facebook page, look for announcerjoe.com, and that's where the website takes you. Anyways, right now, it's essentially I started off my first career as in broadcasting, which is the Announcer Joe. And I just sort of got the website going for some freelance work, and I've kept it ever since. I like the name, Announcer Joe. It's pretty cool, so I don't want to let that go. And I just use that now for a hodgepodge of activities and different things like I'm doing right here. Tonight, we are a little special feature here on the official training part. As you'll see, the making of RefCam 2.0. Yay! All right, basically, if you check the rest of my playlist, you'll see several things on there I call RefCam. Last year I had a good time. Like I said, my original career's in broadcasting and sports announcing for the most part. So I'm really into production stuff, and a lot of online stuff is pretty cool to me. So I like the YouTube stuff. Last year I did this little trick. I bought a cheap little clip-on camera. This came from Amazon. I think they were 20 bucks a piece, so I got two of them and clipped it on the cap, the bill of my cap for last season. It offered a very unique perspective. For training, it was nice. Being back again after being out of officiating for a long time, I could watch the games over and over again and catch some nuances here and there. The big thing, being in the umpire spot, I found that I was oftentimes not moving enough in the middle. I kept on going to the same location instead of moving around like I should have. So that's a good training point here. It's great for training, it's just fun to do. And it's a great way for liability as well. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But this was last year's model. It was great. I bought two of them. Basically, the timing is just about a half of football. So I put one on for the first half and switched to the second one for the second half. Clips right off and on. So if I want to get rid of it, you can. Just slides right off like that. It's pretty simple. The problem was with these cameras, they are cheap cameras. Like I said, like 20 bucks a piece on Amazon or something like that. They held enough memory. They last about 90 minutes or so for battery power. However, there is no image stabilization. So, of course, when you start running, you get the blurred screen, and you turn your head quickly, and you get a blur. And we miss a lot of action, a lot of great action, a lot of great shots, a lot of great things to sort of share and show online. However, a lot of missed spots, too, a lot of great calls and great plays I could have had to show people. However, they weren't there because of the blur. So, this year we sort of changed that as I've upgraded and went the GoPro route. Right here. GoPro, this is a 5.0 Hero, and a couple of them actually you see. The great thing about this model, you see it's very small, it's about an inch or so cube, one touch button operation. The great thing about these right now, they were expensive as heck when they first came out. However, GoPro has stopped making them. They're still preferred by a lot of people shooting sports shots and so forth. The great thing about GoPro Hero 5, Hero Session 5 is what it's called, is that it actually features image stabilization. The Hero Session 4 does not have stabilization, so this one does. It's a great thing. You can run around, jump, whatever, and you get no blurry pictures. It catches all the action. Another great thing about this, like I said, GoPro no longer makes them. They no longer support them. However, that's a good thing and a bad thing. First of all, the bad part is there's no more new stuff coming out for it, but the good part is you don't really need anything new with it. It's a very basic setup. It runs off an app off your phone. You can just push the button and go, or you can download an app to your phone and use the phone as a viewfinder, actually. So you set this up, push the go button, you look at your phone real quick, see what the shot looks like, it's acceptable, put the phone away, you're good to go. But another great thing about these is people who are in the sports stuff and the camera stuff know what they are, know that they're a bit of a commodity. Other places, like the place I found, this is old stock. Old defunct stock. So the prices came down. I think I got both of these. They came with a couple mounts a piece. It was a basic kit that you bought years ago for like $4.50 a piece or so. I bought both these and the kits for like $150. So the prices are doing real well now. If you find the right place, I found some camera places wanted full blown price for them. The place I found, they considered old stock, obsolete stock, so they sold it for a discount. I got two cameras for $150, and they come with the warranty still, so that's pretty nice. They still work well. So today's plan, I'm going to make a new setup for the RefCam version 2.0. I've got the cameras. I've seen things online. Of course, YouTube's great for that. Where I found how people put them on their hats and made mounts. They actually make a mount. But the mounts, if I reach over and grab it here, are pretty big enough to choose. I didn't want to do something like this on the front, the bill of my cap. You can put it on like this, or it actually comes with a clip as well. And once you clip it on, it's just this big monstrosity on the front of the hat, which to me is just a little too much. I like, you know, it's going to be obvious where it's a little more noticeable now, but I don't want something this noticeable. I mean, if you put it on there, you have the big clip like that, and you put a clip on the bill of the cap, it's just this big monstrosity by the time you're done, and I just don't want that right now. I want something a little small, a little more obscure, where I can sort of clip it on and off as I want to. See, that's how it would come on the hat. Just this big, it'd be a big old mount, which will look goofy. It might draw attention, undue attention to it, so I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to make my own up here, and that's what we're doing today. The basic hack I have found for this, which I guess that's a new, the word hack is officially if you find some way to do something new. So the hack I have found for this is I needed a clip. I've got the cage. The camera mounts in the camera cage like this. It comes down. Now you got to mount it to the cap. A lot of places I saw, they ran little wire ties to the drill holes in the cap, ran wire ties, they ran screws to the bottom of the cap, stuff like that. I don't want to do that. I want to make it so it comes off. So I got this, which is a carbon fiber money clip. And my basic idea is to take this, mount it to this. So we've got the same concept as before with the smaller cameras, where it's just a little bitty clip. And this will pretty much go on the bill of the cap. The great thing about this is you can clip it on the cap real quick, put it on, use it. If you want to get rid of it, you can grab it and pull it off. And it's great way like that. So right now, basically, I started already before I put the camera on about getting this ready. It's a little too long in the back of the clip, so I'm cutting some of that off. I'm going to do that real quick here, knock the rest of that off here. Nice roll. Move it down a bit here. Should be good for right now. It's a pretty smooth edge actually with the sanding wheel going. You know what? I'm going to just knock off the corners a bit. And there we go for that. So we've shortened the clip a bit there. Got a newer cap I'm going to use for this year, but I'm using this old one for sizing purposes. And that fits better. Before it was all hitting the hat and it wouldn't run up here. The basic concept will be this right here. Hat, camera, voila. If I could get away with gluing that directly or attaching, I would, but I can't. So I'll be doing... mounting a cage of that real quick here. This is my old hat from last year. You see with that clip, it actually put a mark in the middle of the bill. Of course, every year I buy a couple of hats just to have them around, but this will be a reserve hat. I think I'll scrub that off and clean it up best I can, but the metal clip on the last one sort of caused that. This clip is actually carbon fiber. It's actually a money clip. I was trying to find something that would work, and I looked on Amazon once again. I found a whole bunch of varieties of clips, and being carbon fiber, I wanted to avoid that issue with the rust like the clips had last year, so that's why I went to the carbon fiber. Wasn't expensive at all, maybe like $6-7 I think. So we get a pretty nice little setup here for just a few bucks to put this on our cap. The next wheel here, got to rough up the spot to make this work. Couple things about cameras. First of all, there's a lot of popular sites. Let me backtrack a second here. Legality of it, basically, the only thing you have to worry about, we're basically in a public view in a site in a location like that, location like a field for a ball game is being recorded anyways. Basic legality is broadcasting against your division's broadcast rights, so make sure that's not an issue. If you're using it for training purposes, you have a lot more leeway for recording things and using it for training purposes, which is something to watch out and maybe a loophole to use a little bit. It's what I do with a lot of things, actually. They're nice to have. I like having cameras. A couple websites always feature how there's problems amongst the crowds and the coaches and so forth. Cameras sort of keep people in check. I've mentioned before in my other posts, I'm a police officer by profession. When I'm at work, we do not have body cameras because the expense, basically, with all the legality stuff, has actually gotten much more expensive. However, I bought my own little body camera. This is a movie. I think it's a $100 version of a GoPro. It clips in and out. It's got a little viewfinder on the back. If you're officiating at any level, any sport, I say keep one of these with you. Maybe clip it in the front of your uniform. When the coach comes out to start complaining or yelling, a simple push. You're recording, and then everything is recorded there for posterity's sake if it has to be used later on. Hopefully it doesn't, but that's always an idea. I'm going to rough this up a bit to make sure it's a good surface. So I put the sanding wheel on, the wire wheel on real quick. Should be enough of that right now. The family pets are going bonkers outside in the hallway. Rough surface right now for the glue to adhere to. Makes a little better adhesion. Using Gorilla Glue. No, they're not a sponsor. I bought it all myself. Something to read directions on Gorilla Glue because I didn't do that with my first typical guy. I did not read directions. And I thought Gorilla Glue stunk at first because I couldn't get to adhere. Gorilla Glue is activated by water. So you have to dampen one part, which I'm doing right here. I'm going to dampen the cage. Maybe, you know what? Maybe better if I dampen this part. You can't overdo it, you have to dampen it, and the water actually activates the liquid. I had some, this is a wet towel I use for erasing my dry erase board. Wouldn't make a dry erase board then, would it? Okay. I still use a wet towel to make it better. Get some moisture on there. So it's dampened a bit there. Very simple. Take the cage. And put the Gorilla Glue on there. Gorilla Glue expands, so be careful with it. You don't want to slap it on. Just a little bit. Gorilla Glue expands about 3 times its size. It'd be fine for right now. Press the cage down to here, make sure it's relatively square. If it's not, I'll be ordering another $9 money clip from Amazon. There's a cat trying to get in the room, actually. Now clamp it. Put the rubber band on, make sure it stays clamped. Now pretty much it sits for 2 hours. I'm going to scoot it forward just a touch here, make sure it doesn't get under the view. It's a 2-hour initial drying time with a 24-hour hard cure, so we're going to put it like this, let it sit for about 2 hours, and I'll come back, slip a camera in there, see how it works. How's that sound? Let's go ahead and take a pause. Right here's the clip glued onto the cage. The main thing, make sure the cage clips on the top. There's a little gate that opens up to let the camera in and out. That's on the top, so that'll be the flexible point. The bottom will be adhered to this, so that will be the stiff point of the construction. We've got glue on both sides of the cage, of the mounting cage. We'll expand a bit and pop out. We'll sand it down a bit and be ready to go. So let it dry. See you in a bit. And alright, welcome back. Once again, we got to take a look at RefCam 2.0. I've let it sit overnight, not full of the 12 full hours. However, I think it's cured good enough right now. I've actually tugged on it some. It seems pretty solid. It takes 2 hours for it to basically settle up, and then 24 hours for a full cure. Staying together in one piece. A little twist and pull on it. Glue strong stuff. You see there's a little bit of squeeze out on the side. I'll trim that off with a razor blade, and I'll put some black marker on just to cover up the color, make it look a little nicer, look a little nicer. Let's a little test here. Camera fits right inside the mounting cage. Snaps down. Again, the flexible side's on top. The bottom is the side that's solid against the mount. Seems pretty good. I plan to put the little test fit for you, a little test run. However, I realize how long the video has gone. The first part, so we're going to cut it shorter here. But the basic concept, we're right there. Camera on the hat. We'll straighten out. You can make sure it's straight when you put it on and so forth, adjust it and everything else. I noticed, well, the different weight compared to this. Also, the carbon fiber clip doesn't have as much of a clamping power against the cap. It looks like it might be a little issue as far as breaking free out the cap bill a little bit. So I might be adding a piece of rubber on the inside of the mount, just on the inside of the clip, just to make a little grippy surface on there. Because right now I can tell it seems like it slides off pretty easily. The carbon fiber clip versus the slick fabric looks like it might be an issue. So I'll look at that in a bit and see what we can do with it. Maybe next video we'll throw it on and put it on during my workout and go outside and see how it works and check things out. For right now, to wrap things up for this session, join us for part 2, once again for making a RefCam 2.0. Thanks a lot for tuning in. My name is Joe Wells on announcerjoe.com. Again, if you can't get on the website, just look on Facebook. Check us out. We'll be having more instructional videos for officials, as well as the other topics we have on the page. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Check you out later on.